Hello, everybody! Hi, welcome to Indigo Chameleon. It is Tuesday night. It is time to stream some wonder. Our 5 Dungeons and Dragons feed each other chips romantically. The least romantic food.
I don't know how much romantic.
That's not true. Chicken salad is the least romantic food.
What?
I'll allow it. We have a few announcements before we get started.
At least romantic.
We have a few announcements before we get started tonight. First off, we have an amazing dice giveaway for you, our awesome viewers and followers and subscribers out there. Children.
Sorry, Dad.
So that's all right, kiddo. So what we have is we have an amazing dice set that is named Goliath. This lovely bad boy right here. I don't know if you can see, but it's pretty and black. It's got that blue sort of coloring for the numbers. And we also have an enamel pin for all of you barbarians, or those of you that might use a little wax. So the word that you were going to type into the chat one time and one time only is the word PATH. P-A-T-H. Type that one time and one time only. And we will draw a winner at the end of the stream. So stay active in the chat, hang out with us, and we'd love to give this set of dice away to one of you this evening. The other announcement, Twitch. The good people at Twitch are doing this special sort of promotion for Pride Month, where you can, if you donate 200 bits, I think in one fell swoop or one sort of donation, you get access to a limited time emoji, or 2 limited time emojis.
Yes, it's all written up on the Twitch chat right there. We kind of wrote it all out because it does get a little bit complex and tricky and that sort of thing, so I tried to write it as clearly as possible.
Yeah, so check the chat and you can find information about the cool giveaway that they're doing, and it helps support an amazing cause that we like to support here on Indigo Chameleon. The schedule for this week, the next show up on the channel is going to be Thursday night. We've got WoW. As we play some World of Warcraft here on the channel. It's turned into a fun little summer activity. On Friday, we have another episode of Fandemonium that's going to be set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we have some brand new heroes. We're going to be seeing, I'll do a little sneak peek, we're going to be seeing some of the alternate timelines that Doctor Strange saw. So when he looked at the different sort of timelines and saw that there was only one particular path, we're going to see one of those alternate pathways to defeating Thanos. So where maybe it didn't have such a happy outcome, but we'll see if our heroes can change that. That is Friday night. Saturday night, I kind of put mishmash, but I'm working. But Indigo is probably going to be here and going to be doing some WoW, maybe? We'll see.
Well, I will be. I might even stream it, but you know,
She might
that's what I'll be doing on Saturday.
So tune in to Indigo Chameleon for that. As always, any schedule changes, any cool updates you can find on our Discord. So thank you so much for tuning in. It helps us if you give us a little like or a follow up in the corner, clicking that little heart. All of that being said, I think that's it for announcements this evening. When last we left our heroes, we kind of had a chill episode as compared to the events of the episode previous. We spent a lot of time in Felrin's Funhouse, where the brew, the secret club, found their inn. Our heroes spent some time getting to know each other on different levels. A few of our heroes got into a drinking contest with Captain Roscoe, but it didn't go as well as they thought it would go. Grim had something stolen from him, or taken from him, but he didn't even know it existed. So, whatevs. It's cool. Our girl Day had some fellowship time with Jabba, the Tortle priestess for death. And so they had a nice, interesting, long talk about that. Thoey and Nyx spent some time talking with Felrin about locating a way to get back Flint, who has been taken away from them. And Felrin mentioned something called the Talisman of Planar Travel, and said that he would do a little bit of research for them. Mandrake is still a little surly about losing his hat, but felt a little bit better kind of walking away from the table, having won the drinking contest for the most part. Now, there was a one-shot where 2 of our heroes went off to hell. All you need to know is Mandrake is wearing a different hat today, and Grim has a broken weapon, and you are free to watch that one shot called The Rise of Kyle. That's on our...
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. So, I think that's it. Heroes. We're actually going to open up with the next morning. You can all mark down that you have a long rest that evening. As you all start to wake up, there is a knock on your door, Mandrake.
On my bedroom door?
On your bedroom door.
I'm going to grab my daggers.
Okay.
Make sure that they are in my back pocket.
Sure, yeah.
I'm going to think my hat invisible.
Sure.
And I'll go open the door.
Sure. As you open the door, standing before you is someone that you worked a little bit with over the night, Tommen, who was in the drinking game with you and who you shared an adventure with.
Who?
Hello. You have something of mine.
Do I?
You do. I would very much like it back.
I believe you. Speaking of this, and I'll hold up the ruby.
I am indeed.
Oh, but I recall asking about this, and you said you had no idea what this was.
The last time I saw you was walking away from the drinking table. So you haven't asked me about that at all.
Was it now? And I'll tap the side of my head, and Kyle's hat will appear.
Atop Mandrake's head is a odd-looking hat that seems to have the bill pointed in the wrong direction.
My God, that's ugly.
Agreed. And I'll tap it again, and it'll disappear. So you were saying you haven't seen me since we walked away from the table?
That is what I was saying. I was also saying you have something of mine and I'd like it back.
I'm gonna put the ruby back in my bag and say, you shouldn't have placed it up for bet if you weren't willing to part with it.
I was trying to help you.
Were you now?
I was.
Well, at this point, I believe you did help me. You helped me gain a very large ruby. Is there anything else I can do for you, sir?
Chip them out with so nonchalant.
I want to say that please don't hit each other in real life. Yes, there is one thing.
What do I need to give you for that?
That depends on what it does.
You're going to make this difficult, aren't you?
Always.
And he's going to take his hand and wave his hand over his face. And Enwin is standing there. You know what that does? It's actually very... It's... You understand how I made a deal? To do the things I can do, correct?
I assume you're speaking of Anansi?
Aye. Do you mind if I come in? I'd prefer not to have this conversation in the hallway.
I'll step out of the way and...
Sure.
Steps in and closes the door. That is... I was trying to help. I knew you wanted the piece of plum. And if you notice, I don't really drink or eat, so I can't really get drunk. I put that up to join, to help, expecting to win and give you everything else. It looked like fun, but if you must know what that does, well, since you've had it, my connection to Anansi's been with you. I know I'd appreciate if you'd give them back.
These connections... They aren't always what you think they will be.
All that I've become aware of. But just because I don't have what he gave me doesn't mean that I don't owe him for it.
As I've learned. I don't need any more chaos right now. And I'll pass him the gem.
Thank you.
We'll just consider it an IOU.
For now.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
15.
You have you feel a slight tingling move across your skin as he goes, we'll just consider this an IOU. As your nature takes hold, and you feel yourself indebted to Mandrake Madigan. Cool. He walks out of the room. You all wake up in your various rooms and sort of set about your day. Though you do wake up on the rooftop. The sun is shining. The weather is very beautiful out where you are, but there is no end wind.
Okay, I guess I'll just start cleaning up all the stuff that got. All this stuff got magicked up here, right?
It did, and as you sort of get up and start to move about the bedrolls and things of that sort, they sort of dissipate with the morning light that seems to shine all about them.
Well, I guess that's something. Okay, I guess I'll just head downstairs
Sure.
to the place of the eating.
Sure. All of you tend to head downstairs and make your way to the restaurant. Some of you in a little bit more inebriated state than others. Give me a Constitution saving throw. Let's see how hungover you are.
Ooh, I am. That's a 24. I am.
And how hungover is your character?
You fought through this. You had a little bit of the hair of the dog that bit you. I imagine you're drinking a Bloody Mary downstairs as everybody comes down. And you all come downstairs, and there's a new guy behind the bar. It's not Bob. It's a sort of a blonde-looking human who's smiling at everybody and just sort of waving. He's not really saying much, but he is hurriedly bringing over plates of food. It's a helping of like a very hearty breakfast. It's eggs and bacon and potatoes, and sort of sets it up for you guys and just sort of smiles and nods at you all and heads back behind the bar and like keeps food coming as people come downstairs. There's not a ton, but there's a few.
I'm gonna walk over to him.
Sure.
Hey, where's Bob?
Bob isn't a great morning person.
Okay, where is he?
He's not here at the moment. But he's probably in his room or somebody else's room. Probably somebody else's room.
Oh. oh, got it. Okay. Hi, I'm Zoe.
I think he took you up on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Chance. It's nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hi.
When does he usually come down?
When he wants.
Got it. Okay.
It's hard to give him a hard time, and he just sort of comes in when he's ready.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. If you need something else to eat, just let me know. I don't know everybody's dietary restrictions at the moment.
I'm gonna raise my hand.
Yeah.
Because I assume I'm close enough to have overheard this.
Yeah.
Tea?
Sure. Cream and sugar?
No.
No. He will go and busy himself making sort of hot water and come over with tea in the appropriate amount of time. As you sit down and eat and enjoy each other's company, some of you more so than others, Felrin will come into the space, and Chance will hand him over a large cup of coffee that seems to be smoking, and he will pat Chance on the hand and sort of head over to a table with a pile of books sort of scattered about, and absentmindedly drink his coffee and sort of pour through books and sort of spend his morning doing that.
Day would have made her way downstairs at this point. Like, she's gonna be there early for the meeting she had set up, so.
Sure. So you finish breakfast and you're just or you're hanging out with everybody and...
Yeah, she'd probably be like chilling, just strumming.
Cool.
Is Nick's there?
Yeah, everybody sort of gather around. It's a chance to say hey and...
I'm gonna go over to Nick's And so, Flint.
Yes. We talked to Belgren, and we know where he is, and I know how to get there, but there's going to be some steps we have to take in order to do that. If, of course, you guys are willing to come along. And yeah, I think there's a really good chance that I can get him back.
Every journey starts with a few steps.
Yes.
And I owe Flint a favor. He saved Bixley.
I don't think he'd hold you to it. He's
Debts must be paid.
There's a if words could be pointed instead of that, those would be.
So, these steps.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Belgren to...
Slam! As you were talking, Felgren comes over and he's like, "Found it! Got it!" There's a large book in front of him, and before you spans this sort of ancient sort of hand-drawn map of Wonder, and he's got like little parts circled and different lines going in all these different directions, but located a little ways past the Red Keep, past the forest, in a central part that's sort of in this rocky mountain area. You see the small word of Dene, D''INA, and you can't tell if there's an H there, or it's like a squiggly part of the A there. And he goes, okay, so Amulet of the Plains. I think I found the last location, and it's here, in this small sort of area. It's a little ways off the beaten path. It's about 4 days travel here from the club. There's a group of people there. Now, they're not very friendly, and some have reported that they're a little feral. So you're going to have a bit of difficulty, but the last known location was here, in this particular area.
Dave's gonna actually go up behind him to like look at the map and like hand on his shoulder and look over and try to see if it looks.
He melts
like,
a little bit. It's not. I can't even hide it. Like he's just like, it's right there. Like he's just sort of like looking over at you and looking at the map.
Mandrake. This looks like the map we saw over at the club, no?
Cheshire Club. I mean, it was a map of Wonderland.
Was that the place they were called?
Did we have enough time to look at it to notice?
If this particular place was marked, give me an intelligence check. This is something that happened a long time ago, and you were a little bit preoccupied. The two of you can both make an intelligence check right now. If you're trying to suss out whether this place was marked.
Straight intelligence?
Sure.
16?
16? 9. It's hard. It was just such a rush of time as you were looking at this map and seeing all the lights that lit up. At this point, people were like bursting into the room. I will say with the 16, you remember portions of the map. The whole map is not fully lit. The central sort of agrarian areas were the ones that were the most lit up.
Okay.
It may have been. We were a little preoccupied. Felden, are you sure?
90, 80% positive, but yes, this is the last known whereabouts. The Amulet of the Plains was located here, and that's where my sources sort of point.
Do you know how long ago they were seen there?
Well, this is where things get tricky. First, it was reported that it was here in the beginnings of Wonder, back in the day, Alice and all of that stuff. And then it was reported that it was there before the fall of the Red Queen and all of that stuff. And then nothing. And then we have like a small sort of transcript. There are people that come into the bar all the time and talk about it. But there was one in particular, this girl who got very drunk and said that she had found the amulet, but that it was with a bunch of people, and that she was the only one member of the party that survived. And I had totally forgotten about it, but I found it back in my journals.
Do you remember anything else about her?
Sure. Yeah. I remember she was elven. She kind of had a scarred face and a scarred sort of arms and things like that. She had mentioned that she needed healing. We let her stay here as long as she needed to, but then she was sort of off on her way. She talked about how the people were both animal and person.
We're familiar.
Quite. Could be something that we should definitely be checking out along the way. What's wrong with getting ambulance?
Yeah, just be careful. How do you plan on getting there?
Yeah, by the map, does this look like a place we can get to? Wait,
Yeah,
look close?
he maps it out and he shows you. It's about a 4-day journey
Okay.
from this location. Were you to take it on foot?
Is there a quicker way to get there?
I mean, define quicker.
What's the quickest way we can get there?
Well, I've been working on some stuff. I mean, you could try any number of things. I mean, you could probably go into town and get somebody with a wagon and horses to sort of take the journey if you had the gold to pay for it. I could send Jip, and Jip might be able to transport 1, 2, 3, 4. Might be able to do it, but there's no telling what's sort of flying above Wonder these days. Or we could try transportation magic and just hope for the best.
Well, what sort of can you explain transportation? Hope for the best.
Yeah, so normally people use teleportation circles and set up a teleportation circle and carve sigils into it. This is a common magic. However, I've discovered that when you draw a teleportation circle into the ground and connect it with another teleportation circle, it's basically every teleportation circle that's ever been connected, little pieces of it, are in that sort of magic. So I deal with alternate realities and different sort of planes and portals. So I've discovered that in some realities there's bound to be a version of Wonder where a teleportation circle is exactly where you need it to be. And so that's what I tap into.
So we could end up in a different version of Wonder.
I mean, yeah, but it's a very slim chance.
How slim?
1%?
And how would we know if we were in a different version of Wonder?
Great question.
That's not really something I want to risk.
All right, so we might want to look into the flying thing or the horse and carriage.
I thought we did. Not to backtrack too much.
Yes.
This girl with the scar and scars everywhere. Did she have a name that we could locate her by?
Yes. Tidra.
Tidra. And you said she was a elven woman.
Yes.
Okay.
How long ago did she come in?
Tidra? I want to say like a few months ago.
How long do you think it would take us to get by there by horse and buggy? For walking, it takes 4 days, so couldn't imagine it being
A couple days tops. Day and a half.
too terrible. I'm sure we could find someone here around that owes us a favor, or that we could possibly owe a favor
How
to.
many people owe us favors, dear?
Honestly, if it's been there since the beginning of Wonder, there's a couple days shouldn't be too much.
I say we just go into town and get a horse and buggy. It's nice, it's solid, it's reliable, it's stable. We pay money, we get there.
Sounds good.
You said only 1%?
Yes.
Those are good odds.
They're still terrible odds.
Another really
We wouldn't even know
1%
if we
of
were
the
in the right
bad
place.
Wait,
8%.
1% that we end up in another reality?
Yes.
Those are great
So not
odds
1%
that
that we
back.
stay up in
Right,
our own.
That's
Yes,
what I'm
definitely.
saying. Head first. Let's go. Let's have some fun, you guys.
You guys try that, and I'll meet you there.
But we wouldn't even know if we were in the wrong reality.
And when Chloe, because she just asked that question, give me an insight check. Since everybody else.
14.
14?
Yeah, that's a 6.
3.
Finran,
Yes.
I hate to ask,
Yes.
And this is going to be an intimidation.
Sure.
Sorry.
Sorry.
It's all worked so well.
No.
I'm drunk to you, assist.
you you wouldn't be working for the Red Queen in any way.
No, this isn't. That's the whole non-purpose of this club. I mean, we provide a safe place for all those who seek it.
We thought we had a safe place before.
All right.
I have to ask.
The world is not safe.
Right.
There are no safe places.
But you just said this place is safe.
You asked me if I was working for the Red Queen. I said my goal is to provide a safe place for all those that seek it. The minute you started being exclusive and calling it your home, that's where your problem was. This place doesn't belong to anyone. It belongs to everyone. You need to realize that.
As I said, I had to ask.
It's fair. Can I ask you a question?
It's only fair.
This dark and broody thing, does it work for everyone, or is it just you, or like...
It's not incredibly well received.
No, God, no. I mean, I'm instantly sort of turned off to this whole situation.
Right? That's what I've been trying to say.
God, oh my God. I'll let you guys think about it, and then if you need the contact of someone, out in the mouth, if you make your way towards sort of the outskirts, there is a very lovely but somewhat eccentric goblin by the name of Santwin, who owns a transportation sort of company and is known for helping transport people. So, but tell him Felrin sent you, and you might get a discount, or he might bump up the price a little bit, depending on how he's feeling.
So our options are we take a horse and buggy to wherever we're going and either get a great price or a crap price, depending, or, as they was saying, take a teleportation thing and we end up in a maybe reality? That sounds more exciting to me.
One option.
Have you done this before, the transportation thing for multiple people where it's turned out successful?
Sure.
Felrin.
Well, yes, I've done it where it was successful.
Were they
Well,
living
what's
beings?
up?
How do you know it was successful? How do you know you're not in an alternate reality right now?
Because I had no idea who the Cheshire Cat was. It has gone poorly. That's how I ended up here.
Do you have everything you're required to do this, or do you need like something extra?
No, I'm good to go. I mean, I'm telling you right now, like, you do what you gotta do. I mean, I'm all about, like, science, and, like, depending on how quickly you guys need to get there to get your friend.
Let's go.
I'm not going.
You want to take the portal thing.
Why don't we
If
take
I was a different person, I would so be going for this right now. But right now,
Now, I spent all last night playing the game that I ended up not winning. The teleportation dealie sounds fantastic.
She's
I
gonna
will hurl on the back of the
What if we take a vote?
slither around.
Will you agree to a vote?
No, we do.
No, I will already go through it. I'm not gonna, by chance, end up in a different dimension.
Penguin,
Yes,
what do you say?
I'm not going in.
You're not
Thank
going
you.
into the portal.
No.
Makes no sense.
Four?
If you guys want to save the trip, you guys go that way, and we'll go the other way.
Do you happen to know a
Seen
way,
you, you
It's
ended
not
up
a
like
matter
this.
of the trip. It's about a little adventure and fun.
Finman, do you know a way we might gain favor with Santa?
Yeah, I mean, he likes booze.
We are taking the cart. We are absolutely taking the cart.
can we go take the cart right now
Let's do
while
it.
it's 42? Let's just
Yes,
go.
please.
How long would it take me with Longfellow's portable alchemy kit to make something good?
It would take you the better part of the afternoon. Still, I would say after lunchtime. You guys could set off around noon. You guys are up fairly early enough. With assist of somebody intelligent, that you could do this at advantage, and you're just trying to piece together like some sort of like super alcohol.
Yeah. Something
Like some sort of
Santman,
crazy man, you're looking for a super booze.
something Santman has never seen, but would very much want to try.
Do you say any of this out loud?
Yeah.
Felry goes, that sounds like a great way to spend a day. Do you want to use your lab or do you want to use mine?
I haven't used my lab yet, but
Let's use yours. We'll break it in.
okay. Zoe, do you know anything about alcohol? Do you know anything about fruit that its sugar content could be converted into alcohol?
Yeah, well, probably. I mean,
Do you
it
have
seems
a
like
book?
waste of good fruit.
I could help you with this.
Thank you, Fenwin. Never mind, Chloe. You go spend time with Endo. Felrin, sorry.
Can I allow myself to try it? I mean, obviously you need a guinea pig.
See, we already have a taste tester.
I'm not carrying you to the mouth.
First of all, two
He
things.
just wants the drink to
Fine.
his mouth, dear.
That is also true.
Nix, if you want to, the books are here. It's got all the information that I found about the area. If you want to spend some time doing a little bit of research in it.
Sure thing.
Yeah. And he's like, all right, bust it out.
Okay, I'll pull out my kit, and before we get started, Zoe, that book we found about
Yes.
about different animal components, monster components
Correct.
that we can mix.
Yes.
If you can find something like that here in
A book about different monster components?
About alchemy.
Animal oh! Oh, okay, you want me to go find
Yeah.
the books? Yes, okay.
Enwin, could you please help her?
Now, why would I do that?
Because you enjoy her company, and she's standing right here while I'm saying this.
That's true. But I have other things to do.
Oh, I see.
Shut up and do it.
Dear, sometimes the bossy thing is not attractive.
Shut up and do it.
Getting closer.
Shut up and do it.
Do what you want. I mean, if you don't want to spend the afternoon or the morning with Zoe, poring over books and helping her find things, that's fine.
No, all day enough. I recall giving you a book earlier.
You did.
Ah, then why don't we go on to the roof? I've got to lay in the sun for a little while. You can bring that book with you.
Okay.
Okay, so the party is split. We're going to handle a couple of
To be
things.
fair, you started it.
I did. Okay, so what we will do is let's start with Nix. Nix, give me an investigation check as you spend a little bit of time with the books. And I will say, you know what? You spend enough time that even give me a roll just for fun.
All right. 15.
15. Yeah, you spend enough time that it takes you a while, but after a little bit, you're sort of pouring through things. You start cross-checking whether it's D-I-N-A or D-I-N-A-H, and you think it's N-A-H, and that sort of opens up a new avenue for you. Dinah, as it's pronounced somewhere, is somehow relating to the ancient stories of Alice and dealing with the sort of feral, nature of the people there. There are reports of establishing trade route and some of these people being used for King's Guard before the implementation of the spades and the hearts and things of that sort. There's reference to, very sporadically, the Jabberwock. Okay? And you spend a little bit more time with those books. You two head up to the roof, and are you just sunbathing and sort of...
I'm going to wait for him to, do whatever he does to sunbathe. Do you lay down? Do you stand up? You just sit in the sun? What do you do?
I just lay down.
Okay, I'm going to...
Lay down and relax.
I worked on something last night for you.
Why?
Yeah. I'm going to create a rain cloud, just poof, create water right over the top of him. See?
Sure.
That's helpful, right?
It might be. It's
Well, you're a plant. You need water, right?
But-
Now you have sun and water.
That's true. Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
You're welcome. Anytime you want. I'll just like that.
I'll keep that in mind next time I'm thirsty too.
You're welcome.
Go ahead and erase that spell slot, please.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. You guys spend the time up there. I'm going to have you make an investigation at disadvantage.
What am I investigating? Oh, I rolled well, though.
You're looking through that book. The point of you going up.
Oh, that's right. 18.
Yeah, you know what? It's hard. It's so hard, Zoe, because every time you start getting into the book, Enwin will sort of get up, and as he gets up, some of the water will trickle down his skin a little bit that you feel it. And it's very fast times at Richmond High. But after sort of focusing and getting in the zone, you do find out that this book has quite a bit of useful information in it and how plants react with certain substances and things of that sort. It's 1, 2, and then Felrin. Okay, let's actually go to Day. Day, as you head back to your room to meet with Java, she's already standing outside your front door.
On time?
Yeah. Are you ready?
As a lover be, I suppose.
Yeah. You open the door to your room. Bob is untangling himself from the covers. He's probably not even awake yet. And as the two of you sort of walk into the room, there's an awkward moment where he sort of stands up, stark naked, and sort of looks over at Java, and Java looks over at him, and he just sort of nods, and still naked, just walks out of the room.
Sounds like Bob.
Yeah. As Java comes into the room, she sort of surveys her surroundings, and she goes, "So, Death.
Life?
I still don't get it. Why you? What are you? Are you looking for something? Do you worship?"
We should probably rewind here.
Sure.
You found me.
I understand that, and I don't know why.
Have you spoken to your death?
No. Have you spoken with Death?
Well, not to my knowledge, but
What do you want, Death?
what do you mean?
No, I mean fundamentally. Like this whole thing, the pretty person thing, like I get it, that's never been me, but so like what do you want? Fundamentally.
Well, I suppose I want what any great bard wants.
Is that how you define yourself?
As a bard?
Yes.
Well, that's what I've been told my whole life.
I don't define myself as a priestess. I'm me, as complicated as that is, and all of the things leading up to that. I never really know who I am on a given day. The search is what keeps me going. And Death gave me purpose. Or more importantly, upholding some of the things that Death stands for.
The god of death.
No. Death.
Death.
Oh, you guys have gods here, right?
You mean like scythe, black robe, death?
This isn't gonna work. Hey, you know that I'm powerful, or you can probably pick up on me, right? The self-confidence thing?
Yes.
Stand in the center of the room.
She'll walk to the room.
I need you to trust me,
Okay.
okay? It's gonna be okay.
Do I need to like sign contracts, waive it?
And Tweedleday, in the center of her room, dies. Go ahead and roll a death saving throw.
You don't add anything to a death saving throw,
Nope.
right? So 7.
Okay, that's one failure. Roll another death saving throw.
14.
Okay, that's a success.
2.
That's a failure.
So 1.
Day fights valiantly and pushes back against the darkness that surrounds her. And after some time, with Java standing over her, dragging a chair and leaning it up against the space where Day is, Day embraces the finality of death and stops breathing and gives up the ghost. Let's go to creating. Let's go to the potion makers as you work with Felrin and see. Yes, immediately severed. Immediately severed. Okay? Let's go to the potion maker.
Okay.
You spend a little bit of time with Felrin, and Felrin goes into the laboratory and starts setting things up, getting bottles prepped, and you're going into your laboratory for the first time, correct?
Yeah, pulling out portable alchemy kit.
Sure. The laboratory is a circular space. As you lift up the old suitcase and sort of step in, it leads into this sort of circular space with all these random bottles around the wall. In the center is a glowing skull with arcane sigils carved into it and sort of sitting atop this pedestal.
I can't be good. Do you happen to recognize any of those symbols?
All right, here we go. Another pompous elf here to make potions. Hello, great and powerful master.
Okay.
How can I serve you in making potions? This glorious day, let us dive into the arcane nature of life itself and stop our death. Put together the elements of potions, you and me together, rather.
Okay, so
Great, glorious master.
are you done?
I could go on.
Please don't.
Alright.
So first of all, I am a human.
What?
And the head will sort of swivel about and look over at you, and he goes,
Oh my god. You are. I think one of you sick. I'm a skull.
And do you have name?
Bartholomew, the great and wondrous potion master.
Hello, Bartholomew.
Bob is immediately overlooking at Bartholomew and investigating and looking at him and studying and looking at the sigils, and he's just sort of like looking over at you, and he says,
What do you wish to make today, master?
Do you know what kind of alcohol he might enjoy?
Felrin just goes strong.
You said that he was a goblin?
Yes.
A very strong goblin alcohol.
Of course, unlimited power and majesty and intelligence at your disposal, and you wish to make booze.
I'm glad that you grasp the situation, Bartholomew.
Bartholomew will start swiveling about the space, and before you, he will start rattling off ingredients one at a time for you to make booze. Felrin is already moving and sort of scanning the space. Give me an investigation check at advantage as Felrin helps you navigate the space. You are out above the suitcase,
I was just saying,
like sitting, but like hearing this voice.
I am not one for tight spaces and claustrophobic spaces.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna just stick my head in and just kind of watch from the top.
Yeah. Perfect.
24.
Yeah, it takes you a little bit of time, and it's going to take some brewing, but Bartholomew walks you through the process of brewing together what seems to be a competent goblin beverage. It is in a green bottle, which you feel like seems a little on the nose, but it is lightly eating away at the bottle as you speak.
Okay. Is there a way to keep it from eating through the bottle?
Yes, get it there quickly.
Well, thank you, Bartholomew.
Can I hand over my little volcanic?
Sure.
Like,
He's like, that could work as well.
try this. Try this. I'm just gonna hold it out. I'm not gonna give it to him. I'm just gonna here.
I'll pour some in the volcanic shot glass.
And before he takes it, I'm going to place my hand over it.
I'm retracting.
Give me dex checks. Contested.
That is going to be a 22.
Yeah, no, you win.
You go now. Now, one thing before you. Give me a con save at disadvantage. Whoop.
That was a good dex move right there, is catching
Yeah, it
that
was.
dice.
That is going to be a 9.
So you're like,
I don't think this is. This is good. This is real good, guy, by verse. No.
And mind you, I'm hanging like this by my
Yeah.
head in. And
Yeah. It's strong and effective.
you are all beautiful.
Give me a perception check.
20, not nat.
Grim looks drunk and his skin is turning green.
Okay. Bartholomew, is there a way to counteract the effects of this?
I'm sorry, when you asked for alcohol, did you not specify specifically a very strong alcoholic drink for goblins?
I did, but I did not expect my friend to decide to take a drink of it before we knew more about it.
Well, if maybe some buts or candies and nuts.
Call me envy.
Is there any way to counteract the effects for...
Yes, he will sober up eventually.
Okay. Would perhaps a druid be able to help this along?
Yes, probably.
Okay. Zoe!
And I hear him.
No, you
No.
are on the roof.
Nope.
And you are a little distracted, but you knew she was on the roof.
Right.
So as you start to drag a very drunk Grim upstairs, Felrin stays behind and looks over at Bartholomew, and Bartholomew sort of pops over and he goes,
What is it?
Felrin says, nothing. And they just sort of look at each other for a little bit of time as you head up towards the roof. Day.
Hi.
Hi. You awaken.
Dead.
You are. You awaken to the smell of stew. It's a hearty stew.
Wait, like a live awaken or like a...
Perception is funny. You wake up to the smell of stew. As your eyes flutter open, you look up and you see sort of wooden logs sort of up above you, as you would see that looks to be like a wood cabin. Your face is then suddenly and very playfully licked on the side as a small dog runs up and licks your face, your cheek, and then a second dog runs up and licks that same cheek, and then a third dog runs over and licks that same cheek, and you hear a voice and be like, easy, come on. All right, kiddo, it's time to get up.
She'll stand up.
You look upon a very pale man. He seems to be wearing black pants, very simple, and what looks to be a long sleeve shirt made of a very thick material that's black with stripes on it. And he sort of gets up out of his seat and extends a hand forward towards you as he's sort of standing in front of you and offers a hand in assistance.
She's feeling hesitant, but she's also following through with everything she's doing.
Sure. His hands are very cold to the touch. And he lifts you to your feet and brings you over to a rocking chair that's next to a fire that's sort of comfortably warm. There's a stew pot over the fire. He goes, the first time is hard, isn't it?
First time for...
Dying. Dead. You're dead.
Can't say it was easy. Didn't think this was going to happen, really. I thought I was going to be able to fight it, whatever it was. It was just...
Hey,
dark.
you did really well. I mean, you had a second there where I thought you were going to fight it off. But I'm inevitable. Everyone, everything in this world, from the sun itself to the earth, to the grass, everything dies. To make way for new life. To make way for change. Day, you're dying every day. And a new day is born in her place. You, more so than others. And he will go over to a bookshelf and start looking through all these little books that are sort of set up along the shelf, and he pulls one off and he looks at it and looks over at you and he puts it back and he grabs another book and he sort of flips through it and he says, you, my dear, are constantly changing. More so than anybody else in Wonder, you are searching for yourself. And those are the people I'm attracted to the most. Do you know why?
Because they kill themselves every day doing it?
No, because you can appreciate people who do. And he closes the book and he puts it back and he says, I'm not here to make a pitch to you. You either want to work with me or you don't. Most people don't ever get the chance to sit down and have a conversation with me, nevertheless meet my dog.
Cute dog.
The three-headed dog sort of wags its tail and sort of like runs around in a circle, and one of the heads sort of chases the other head, and they run around like this for a little bit and sort of like flop on the ground. And
she's just gonna whistle like pat her lap, like
yeah. Cerebus runs over and sort of jumps in your lap and sort of snuggles up and gets close to the fire. He will, Death will kneel down, so he's at your level as you sit in the chair. He's tall and imposing, even kneeling down and getting in your space. And he's within a close enough distance to be an intimate sort of distance, but not so much so that he's not respecting your personal space. And he looks over at you, and as he does, you look into his eyes, and you've noticed that for the first time, he has no whites to his eyes. It's just an empty sort of blackness, but he wears it with a smile. And he goes, I'm not here to make a pitch because I don't think I need to. I know my people when I see them, even if they don't see it themselves. I saw it in Java, and Java's not going to be here much longer because she has other things she needs to do, her and her husband. So they're here to find a replacement. And I think that's you. Change is coming to Wonder Day. You feel it, your friends feel it. I have touched each of their lives in unique and separate ways, and I have to. Because I'm so closely entwined with each and every one of them that it would be nice to have somebody that represents me. Your friends are going to be responsible for great things. You, Day, are going to be responsible for great things. Things of which will bring great destruction and great life to the continent of Wonder. What I ask of you is to approach the world in the same way that you approach yourself. I want you to question. I want you to protect the natural order of things. I want you to force things to change that need to change. And I want you to accept the things that need to stay the way they are. Not everything is going to be doom and gloom. I'm not going to ask you to go around and killing things in my name. I am going to ask that you make sure that what I say goes. That I can grant you power. Great power. Because Day, I've seen it. It's going to come down to it. You're going to have to make a choice. And it's a shitty choice. And nobody else is going to be there to make it with you. It's going to be you.
What's going to be me?
The fate of the world, Day.
That book's really thick.
Yep, that's part one. So what do you say, Buttercup?
She's thinking about the portal and how no one wanted to do it, and how she was like, I don't care, let's just do something. And she's gonna let her, like, what she wants and her impulsiveness just take over a little bit and just be like, you're inevitable, might as well.
Cool. I need to mark you. It's going to help, I promise.
Okay.
All right?
Can we make it show that's like aesthetically pleasing? Because I don't want to walk around with this big scar on my face. I mean,
I'll see what I can do.
Thanks. That's all I ask.
Goodbye.
Dear Death, you're inevitable. We'll meet again.
Sure. And he will hug you, and as he hugs you, you will feel the breath enter into your lungs as Jabba stands over you with Chance entering into the room holding 3 cups of tea and kissing her on the cheek. It's like, well, how did it go?
I guess, one of you? Or...
She will go over and take a mirror off and place it over you. And as you do, you will look up to your reflection. And you look pretty much the same. You still got that beautiful hair, but one really long streak of white in your hair. One little kiss of death that seems to travel the length of it. And no, that's it for now. Jabba looks over at you and says, we've got work to do. As you stand and rise to your feet, you feel different. Weirdly different, like a little bit more sturdy in your steps, a little more sure of your actions. You've been searching for something for quite some time. You don't know whether it's the fact that you've been presented with something bigger than yourself, but you feel together. You feel stronger. You feel like you have some purpose.
There's lots to do. Let's begin.
Cool. And she will punch you in the face as hard as she can. As your training to become a cleric of the grave begins. And she goes to toughen you up a little bit. You spend a good part of the day sort of in training with her. At some point, is there a knock at her door? Is there any sort of reaction?
There would have been a lot more than a knock. There would have been like some extreme panic as she jumped up and
okay,
Zoe.
so let's justify this. As that punch lands, let's play this. A little bit before then, Enwin is upstairs on the roof, soaking in the sunlight, and let's cut to that scene.
Now I've got that.
Yes.
That's gonna be stuck in my head.
So,
for the rest of the day now.
and when you're upstairs and you feel your connection to day immediately cut.
He would jump up, grab Zoe's hand, and go, "We've got to find Day," and start running.
He takes off at a mad sprint.
What's going on? What happened?
Something's wrong. We have to go.
Okay, following.
And Charlotte would be going ahead to find her.
Okay.
She's faster.
Charlotte takes off at a mad sprint and she's heading towards the room. I think all of this took place within the span of a second. From the time you hit the ground, to the time you opened your eyes, was all of that time spent with death. Charlotte will get to the door and start scratching at the door. As you are sort of decked in the face, you sort of hear the scratching at the door, and it is not too long before the two of you are there.
I would start pounding on the door, if not just trying to
Pounding. Oh yeah, it's open. It's unlocked,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It would
Yeah, you walk into the room to see the young blonde man from earlier, a turtle that you haven't really talked to, but you know she's talking with Day, and Day who's sort of rubbing her face. She's got a long white streak in her hair.
You're fine. Are you alright?
I wouldn't say fine. I would say I just got punched in the face by a turtle. Sorry.
That's
Mispronunciation.
Turtle.
My apologies.
your hair. You're slightly different.
This, yes. It's hard to explain.
We've got time, dear.
I died. It was fun.
From getting punched in the face.
No, not necessarily. From standing in the middle of a room.
That makes less sense.
I understand this. How to make this?
That's what we're here asking you.
I'm trying to explain it. I'm at a loss for words for once. This isn't something that comes easily to me.
Chance will raise his hand and say, Day has decided to represent death and the world of wonder. She's gonna guard the barrier between life and death.
By yourself?
And wait, oh, I'm sorry. Can I have her name?
Are you sure?
Hi.
My name is Chance. Do you take it?
I do.
Give me a con save.
13.
It's a dump stat. You take the name, and it's fine, and it works at how you normally do, and then all of a sudden there is a sharp pain in your side. You are supposed to take those, and you can. However, he is touched by death. So when you take him, you also take somebody else. And you will. You take 13 points of necrotic damage as some of those leaves start fading a little bit.
Do I see this happen?
You watch as he starts wilting.
I know this is going to be weird, but she's going to just proclaim, "No, you're okay," as she casts Healing Word at 2nd level.
Yeah, go ahead and cast it.
On him?
Which
Yep.
is my...
Do I see that Chance... Am I perceiving that Chance did something that did this to him?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Take 7.
7.
17.
Chance is being very obvious about keeping his hands at his side. He is not uttering anything. He is not saying anything. He is being extra careful not to look like he is almost over obnoxiously so. Show you that he is not casting anything. He is not doing anything to maintain.
What happened? Who did that to you?
That's just, we left the sunlight too soon.
Insight check.
Thank you. That was a 19 plus 3, 22.
Give me a deception check.
Also roll that insight.
Yeah, sure.
I'm at 27.
Yeah, he's not being honest here. Something weird happened.
We'll come back to that. What was that? That's not one of my... And he's better, sorta, and... What was that?
Chance will look over at you and then look over at Enwin and sort of like...
I took a piece of it.
You took a piece of him?
Aye.
What do you
Probably
mean?
more than I intended.
What do you
I'm
mean?
not quite sure exactly what happened here, but I do know it hurt.
What do you mean you took a piece of him?
He gave me his name.
I've given you my name.
That's true.
I've given you
Give me an
mine.
int check.
3 plus not enough.
Ooh, 14.
Just regular int. 5.
Do you mean the same way Duncan asked for my name?
Could be. But I had it. It was safe. You died, and I lost it. I knew something was happening.
Does this happen every time somebody gives you their name?
No, dear. This is after the first time this has happened.
No. Do you take a piece of people every time someone gives you their name?
Aye.
And what exactly does that mean?
It means I have your name.
And you have a piece of me?
I have your name. Aye.
Names are powerful things, dear. What you call yourself holds a lot of power.
Chance will walk forward and he goes, yes, however, I don't detect anything malicious in Enwin, so that's worthy of note. You died.
Oh, I wasn't saying he did anything wrong. I think there's something bigger at work here that we don't know about.
No, you don't understand the spiritual and mental thing I just said. Day is dead. That's how you become a servant of death. You die. You're not still dead. This is a new version of you. The slate is clean. Day. Everything that you went through, all of the neuroses, all of the wondering whys and wherefores, you can leave them behind. But people that want a part of you have to accept that this is who you are now. It is a gift. Death as a whole, it's a gift for some and a curse for others. This is our walk.
So you're like her, or she's like you?
Kinda.
And then when you gave him your name, he got hurt.
Yeah. It taps into the core of who you are.
So if she gives him her name, he will get hurt.
Possibly.
But he's gonna know her name. I mean, does he just, if he knows her name, he gets hurt? Like, how does this work?
It has to be freely given.
That's not what he asked. He asked, may I have it?
Do you ask that way on purpose?
Aye.
Why?
That's what I was told to do.
By who?
Nancy.
Does Anansi get a part of a person when you get their name?
Not as far as I know.
Chance?
I don't know Nancy. Cool. Awkward conversation in the room. We cut to the two of you who come stumbling down the hallway to this scene. And you have probably joined them at this point as they say, we're looking for Thoe, come with us. And you see a very drunk Grim. And everybody sort of convenes in this hallway outside of Day's room.
So we're just gonna stand around and look at the thing in their hair.
I'm gonna open the door.
Oh yeah, that's
You walk into the
personally invites.
Everybody turns around and looks, and you see a good portion of the room, like almost like having a class meeting.
Right.
And you've got a very drunk Grim, and sort of Nix is behind. It's like, hey, how's it going?
So like her hair is now black and then it has one white streak.
One white streak.
Okay.
Big robe. It's like,
Yeah.
So Mandrick's gonna go, your hair is different. Can you please help him?
Didn't I just say that?
Is he drunk?
Possibly more. I'm not
He's
really
green.
sure.
I cast Lesser Restoration.
Don't shoot.
yeah, you are no longer drunk, and your skin starts to clear.
What did you drink?
Whatever. I would love another one of those.
What did you
Whatever
give
it is
him?
done. Let me
It's
know.
it's this. It's for Santuin. It's some kind of goblin alcohol.
Don't give him more of that.
I didn't give him the first shot.
It was worth it.
Regardless, we're running out of time. It's eating through the bottle.
And we're moving on.
I'm sorry, why was I called here?
I just really would like to move on so I don't get punched in the face again. Long story.
On to the mouth then.
She died. She's okay now. Don't give me your name. Okay, we're good. Let's go.
We're gonna put a pin in that.
We don't have time to talk about it. So off we go.
Everyone walks out. Felwyn comes meet you guys on the stairs and leads you towards the sort of main lobby area. He takes the books from your hand, and you look very confused as to what exactly all is happening. He will send you to the slide, and as you go down the slide again, and Knock sort of greets you guys, and he's like, "Hey, Felwyn told me the good news. Guess you guys are like regulars now."
Hooray! Here's your punch card.
And first punch is on you, on me.
Ah, it just
I think it
means
was
that
on me.
one time if I'm gonna punch you, one time I'm gonna punch you. Take DM inspiration for that. One time if I'm gonna punch you, you hand me the card and I'll be like, you get one punch card.
This does go to a trade, but I'll take it. Thank you.
Done. Okay, guys, have fun. And you make your way out of Felrin's funhouse and into the bustling city streets of the Mouth. You follow the directions Felrin gave you, and sure enough, down the road is a sort of depot with like wagons and horses and sort of stuff like that. It's tucked away near the exit. There's a bunch of sort of manure that's been collected off to the side, and but you see some horses, you see some wagons and things of that sort, and you sort of see a wooden window that's closed.
We need a tap.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Hey,
How are you?
great. How are you?
Well, thank you.
Good talk. And he closes the window.
I'll knock on the window.
Hi.
Are you Sentiment?
Yes, I am.
I with my shot glass down in front of him.
You have my attention. And he latches the thing open. What can I do you for?
Felrin told us that you might be able to help us get to...
Not interested. Click.
Pour the shot.
Can I have the shot, please?
Hand her the bottle.
She's going to throw the shot glass, pull out a tanker she has on her side, and pour it.
Love it.
What are you doing?
And she's gonna.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
We need your help.
Okay.
You see this?
You're melting tankard.
Yes. It's melting very fastly, and once it does, it'll hit the ground.
Okay.
We need your transportation.
All right.
Belrin sent us. Say yes, it's yours.
Yes, it's mine.
Say yes, and the beer is yours. Yes, to giving us transportation, and then I will give you this beer.
What kind of transportation do you need?
Wagon? When we someone on a wagon? A
We
wagon?
need transportation for 6.
Do you need a driver?
Driver? Do we need a driver?
We're going.
Guys, it's melting very
Yes, yes, we need a driver.
All right. The wagon and the horses is like 30. Where are you going?
To this place. On a map.
Can you get the name?
Driver's gonna be another 20, so 50 gold total.
Just give it to him.
I'm gonna hand him 50 gold.
Cool. And she'll hand him the beer.
He'll take the beer, what he thinks is beer, so he just starts
Oh,
chugging
gosh.
it. But it is hard liquor.
Oh, yeah.
And he, should have given me this first. And he will like come toddling around over to the side. Okay, let's figure out the name of your frickin' driver. He goes around and kicks this sort of lump of clothes. And
Did you say 50 gold? Or silver?
50 gold, homie. So I'm going to erase that from your list. Thank you. He goes over and kicks a pile of rags. And he's like, hey, Nash, wake up! And this sort of like drunken, like, human-looking man sort of gets up and he's got this weird sort of coloration to his skin. And he's like, that's not my name. And he's like, go, you're going to drive these people. He's like, got it. And he will go over to the wagon and sort of get into it. He's like, where are you headed?
Dina.
I'm sorry, what?
Dina? Dina?
Dinah?
Dinah. That's it.
Okay. And he will wait for you all to climb into the wagon.
Sure. Sentiment?
Yeah.
I'll give you the rest of the bottle for a discount.
Okay.
It's a 50 gold discount.
That's a 50 gold discount? Sure. I'll waive the safety deposit.
How much was the safety deposit?
50 gold. Would you believe it?
I'll hand her the bottle.
And he goes walking into the booth and you hear glug, 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 glug. The wagon takes off with your new driver behind it.
takes about a day. As it starts to get dark out, you guys rest for the evening. He will rest in the cart. Are you guys just sort of setting up camp for the night? And
Mandrake will take this time to go into his laboratory.
Sure. Mandrake will disappear into the laboratory.
I'll
as
take
the-
first watch.
Yeah. It's evening time. Somebody give me a survival.
Did I get enough sun to not need to sleep?
You did.
Survival's in.
I will say you spent enough time being the water sort of amplified things and sort of soaked things up for you. So yeah,
You're welcome.
You got enough sun, and something about that sun up there. You feel pretty good. It was an interesting sensation. You felt like you were getting more than the average amount of sunlight up top.
That's some good sun.
Yeah. Cool. Survival check. 22?
13.
13? Yeah. Between the two of you guys are able to find a nice sort of accommodating camping site. Who's taking first watch? Two.
I don't actually have to sleep, so you're all welcome to if you need to.
Well, I mean, I got nothing else to do. I mean,
You can literally sleep, which, as I understand it, your people need to do.
what do you mean your people?
I'm a fucking plant meat.
I'll have you know, and I'm gonna go walk off.
All right, Al, give me, as you take watch that night, give me a perception check as everybody settles down. It takes a long rest for that evening. Shuffle spells around if they need to.
16.
16. Give me a D100 as well.
It's 21.
Sorry. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, for the most part, it's a very quiet evening. At one point, a few wild pigs sort of stumble over into the campsite and start like sniffing around the area. But for the most part, that's all you sort of notice and take note of.
Hang on 1 second.
What do you work on when you're?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going to use Druidcraft to make them smell something away from the camp.
Sure, you do, and they sort of smell and sort of meander off into another direction.
I'm going to ask Bartholomew.
Whereas what twice in one day, what do I owe this lovely pleasure human?
We are going to a place that is apparently inhabited with feral creatures.
Yes.
Anything that might help us along.
Do you have any weapons?
I have a dagger and.
I will use the dagger.
Well, thank you. Anything that might help us in.
Yes, there's some wolf's urine in the third shelf from the bottom.
And what am I supposed to do with wolf's urine?
You're supposed to sprinkle it on yourselves to establish you as the dominant predator.
It's actually quite useful.
I hear Thoe's voice in my head.
Oh.
Thoe puts her head over, and the two of you look
I
up.
thought it was still there, never mind.
Thoe backs her head away from her.
Yes. Oh, that's right, you're in your lab. Right inside your lab. I forgot you had the lab.
If Thoe says it's a good idea. Bartholomew,
Oh yes, great master.
why are you here?
What are you talking about?
I mean, you're a random skull covered in arcane sigils.
Yes,
Are you bound to this place?
I am bound to this place. Until one day, my master uses one of his wishes to set me free.
Oh, wait a minute. We get wishes?
How gullible are you, really? I need to know if we're going to be working together for long periods of time.
Well, I was going to see if there was a way I could set you free when we're done with our work here, but as you are being completely...
I am the last remnants of a great wizard, and I have been cursed to serve this particular place and give them all my arcane knowledge for those who seek it.
And if we finish our journey, is there a way for me to set you free?
That wasn't true. Oh my god, it's too easy with you humans.
And now you stay here, and I'll step out, take the wolf's urine, and close it.
Wait, no, I'm really the ghost of a cow trapped in the skull. Come.
You settle down for a rest. As you settle down for a long rest, all of you wake up and continue your journey.
Did he sprinkled the water?
Did you?
I wouldn't have done it yet.
Cool. As you make your way towards the area and get closer and closer to the spot, the roads that were once sort of paved and sort of marked out become a little bit more wild as sort of greenery and the rocks around the area sort of stop the cart from going too much further. There is a whistle from the trees as a spear sort of comes flying out from the tree line and lands in front of the cart. As that happens, you hear rustling off to the sides, and a figure will sort of come forward. She has a hood drawn, and as she pulls it back, she has two sort of feline ears that sort of poke up and feline eyes that sort of look over at you. And she steps forward and looks over at you and sort of sniffs. What are you here for?
I'm gonna, as stealthily as possible, take some of the urine and dab it.
Okay. As you take some of the urine and dab it on yourself, there is a visible reaction from her, and she strides forward and jumps on the cart. As she jumps on the cart, she extends a hand forward and puts it alongside your neck and traces it, and then brings the hand back to sniff it. And she goes, "Who are you?"
Mandrake.
Who are you?
You can call me Day.
Great.
And that's where we're going to take our intermission. So we're going to take a quick intermission. Hang out with us. Stay tuned. Don't forget that we have a giveaway at the very end of the stream for an amazing set of dice. Give us a like or a follow. It's how you can help out without having to spend any money. But if you're feeling magnanimous, you can also subscribe. So we will be right back as we get some drinks and some snacks. But we will see you all very, very soon. And... Hello, everybody. We are back. Thank you so much for letting us have a quick intermission and getting some drinks. And don't forget that we have this amazing dice set that we are giving away tonight to one lucky viewer. You need to type in the word half one time and one time only to make yourself eligible for this giveaway. So when last we left our heroes, we had this woman who sort of jumped on board the wagon, and as Grim said, "What is your name?" As she said, "What is your name?" to Grim, and he said, "Gray."
So I'm not going to shift.
There was a hiss, and that's where we ended off. So let's get right back into that. All right. She sort of hisses and sort of jumps back a little bit.
Back up, feline. You had no presence on this cart.
You are not welcome. And she will jump off of the cart and turn around and start walking down the road. And there's a cough from the driver. He goes,
Mandrake's going to concentrate really hard on Cheshire.
Get off the cart.
What do you mean?
You paid for transportation
Yes.
to Dinah. So please get off the cart.
Well, have you arrived?
We have arrived as far as you're going. Please get off the cart.
All right, so he gets off the cart.
How we arrived at Dinah, we arrived as far as you've decided you want to go.
You've arrived.
I'd like to insight check that.
Sure.
That is.
What's going on? I'm not sure the day.
Can I ask for insight? That's a 23.
You don't know if you've arrived at the final location, but you have arrived as far as it looks like this man is willing to take you.
I got this.
Oh
Famous last
I'm
word.
gonna look at her. I'm gonna be like,
Oh god.
I'm going to eat this chip.
Day starts looking over
Just
at
like-
you.
I cast charm person.
Hey.
Hey. Are we in the place, or like, could you go a little further, maybe?
I mean, I could probably go a little further.
Well, yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
Can I sit next to you while you drive further?
Yeah, of course. And he doesn't scoot over a lot, so you're gonna have to get really close.
Totally.
There's enough room on the bench, but he just kind of sort of man spreads a little bit, just so that you'll have to get close. Yeah.
I'm assuming we're not leaving just yet.
Unless somebody says something different, he
Okay.
feels charmed and
Great.
indebted to his new love.
Never mind then.
Mandrake is going to attempt to concentrate on Cheshire to see if the connection is still there, because he's owned by him.
Hello?
Hello, Cheshire.
Hi. It's you. It's great to hear your voice. Are you doing well?
I'm fine.
You seeing other people?
I tried.
You said you wanted a break, but I missed you. I miss us. I miss your mother.
Okay, Cheshire, that's quite enough.
More out of love. So lost without.
What do you know of the city of Dinah?
I know plenty of things about the city of Dinah.
Can you gain us entry?
What? How dare you? What happened to get out of my life, Cheshire? You ruined everything.
That ended when you said that I am bound to you and I don't have a choice.
That's true. I love
If
your
I'm-
hat.
If I'm stuck here,
I said I love your hat because it's bound to me.
I heard you
Isn't that funny?
It's hilarious. If
And
I'm
you
bound,
can't take it off no matter how much you want to.
are you quite done?
No, I could keep going.
If I'm bound to, I might as well take advantage of it.
Oh, you are not.
You said that I have no choice. I'm bound by blood.
Cut to the scene where a small crying boy, I believe you were crying, took off your necklace in melodramatic fashion, throwing it away to the winds
In all fairness, I tried to put it into my bag, and it was sucked into a vortex.
I need you to listen to me. Because this game is fun to play until it is not. And I believe we're getting to the point where it is not. It sucks to be you. It sucks to be you. You traded your soul for Grim, and now it's either you or him. It sucks to be you. I could just take the air out of his lungs. You realize this, right? Like, I'm playing nice with you because I owe a debt to your great-grandfather. I'm being sweet and gentle. I did not ask you to approach me. I did not ask you to bargain with me. You approached me, hat in hand, for your dear friend. And now you complain because the world is not going the way you want it to go, and then you come to me with a favor. Buck up, kiddo. You are mine, and I am yours for the time being.
And me getting into Dinah meets an end. For both of us. So either you help me get in, or you do not.
Fine. You are right. I'm sorry I yelled. I've been really hangry lately. This plane has no good restaurants, and I miss you. I miss us. Yes, I could pave the way for you to get to Dinah. What am I getting?
What do you want?
No more turning the hat invisible.
Can I change the way it looks?
Sure.
Fine.
Listen to me. In my own special way, I love you. Do you understand?
I understand. And I'll tap it and it'll turn into the hat.
The path is clear. Open sesame.
And nothing changes about the landscape in front of you, but those words sort of echo into your head.
I'm going to try to gain the attention of the cat person who was there previously.
She will turn around at the noise and sort of keep an eye on him, but as her eyes drift towards you, she looks at you and looks at the hat and looks back over towards you, and all of you look over at Mandrake as his eyes go once again back to the feline state that they were in when he was wearing the necklace, as the religious channel has returned to its place, as the hat glows a faint golden hue. You are from who?
I am.
Come.
I'll take her hand.
She will take your hand and she will say, "Cart go, I walk you. You in back. Bad dog."
You in front. I'll give you a head start.
The guy driving the cart sort of looks over at you.
Go.
Thanks for helping.
Okay, bye.
Okay,
I
bye.
love you. And the car will head back towards the.
Good luck finding me dead.
Bye, buddy. Thanks, Mr. Narwhal. You begin walking, and this girl continues to hold your hand, this feminine sort of cat, and as she leads you towards the main road, at a certain point the road dead ends to a bridge that seems to have been sort of broken and over time just sort of worn down. She will go over towards the bridge, and as she does, she will sort of wave her hand outward, and the illusion will fade, opening up into a sort of small village with a bunch of different humanoid figures, all of which in different sort of bustling about their small village. A lot of these people look like people, however, there are subtle differences to them. A lot of them have hair and have sort of flattened faces and flattened noses, each taking on sort of animalistic sort of properties, but each one being sort of a different animal. You know immediately that these are some of the people that are resembling Grimm, and that they are called the Were-Touched. The Were-Touched are somewhat common in Wonder, and have roots in the basic sort of stories of the Dormouse and the White Rabbit, and animals that have learned to sort of come to peace with their humanity and the animalistic side within them at a very young age. They form a bond, almost a totem, with a spiritual animal presence, and find a peace within themselves to get to that point. But there are people about the village. There are small children that sort of run up and about all throughout the village and are sort of gathered around and sort of looking at all of you as you walk through the town.
How big is this village? Is this like a pretty big village? Is this a pretty small
I would say
village?
it's small, but give me a perception check as you start looking around.
Nat 20.
So, I gotta do something here with the nat 20. It's a small town. You think it's on par with Tanakh
Okay.
until you start looking at the huts that are around the area, and you start realizing, like, as they're walking, you guys are sort of paying attention to the kids. Like, you're at the back, and you're sort of like sensing, and you're probably like your hackles are up. Day, and I don't know if Nick, you may be looking at this intelligently, like sort of like, oh, this is interesting, like from an outside perspective. You're also anxious to get to where Flint is. I don't know how you're viewing this as well. Like, if you're viewing this, just they're people, I'm people. Like, we all walks of life. Day, you're seeing small children who would just see you and sort of wave and are playing with you and stuff like that. There's nothing in the huts. There's nothing in the shelters that are set up along the lines as you're walking in. And something clicks in the back of your head is like, this village is either smaller than it looks, or it's way bigger, and this is what they want you to think it looks like.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic to see what's around me. It lasts for 10 minutes.
Tell me about Detect Magic.
Okay, it lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay.
The range is 30 feet, so I'm going to walk around this village as much as I can and close to these houses.
Are you breaking away from the group? Are you staying with...
Like I'm going to try to indicate to whoever's near me that's what, I mean, they're going to see it anyway because they're familiar with me and it has verbal and somatic components. I can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of me. If I sense it, I can use my action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and I learn its school of magic, if any. It can penetrate most barriers. It's blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
You spend some time walking around, and at one point you break away. You guys all sort of notice, I don't think it's any big deal, that she sort of leads you to a sort of larger building at the center of this sort of town, which could be any sort of town hall, but Thoe sort of breaks away. As she does, a tall humanoid figure who is missing his left hand and has sort of this black sort of fur that covers both of his arms, and he's got one long cut or gash or scar that kind of goes through the eye, and the eye is closed from it. And but he still walks with a confidence. And he comes forward and says, "May I help you?"
Hi, we're passing through.
We know what you are doing. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Why do you break away from your pack?
I'm trying to learn more about this place because there's more to it than meets the eye. Don't mean to offend.
He will laugh slightly, and he will extend a hand to you.
She will... Is this like a hand, like handshake, or is this hand like grab my hand? 13 plus... So that's a 16.
A little of both.
Okay. I'll grab his hand. I mean, they're close enough they can see me.
No.
No, not anymore.
As soon as she would have gone off, and we would have noticed, Charlotte would have gone with her.
Okay.
Okay. But she doesn't see Charlotte.
That's
No,
okay.
yeah. No.
She does.
Okay.
She does or she doesn't?
She does, yeah.
She does.
Okay.
You see Charlotte not too far away.
Cool. I extend my hand.
You are looking for what is not there.
It's one way to put it. But I have no malicious intent.
I sense that. And he begins to speak to you in Druidic.
Ooh.
He goes, we walk a thin line between man and animal. Man is myopic. That is a joke.
Because you're... That's funny.
My name is Scar.
Scar?
Scar. It is my job to maintain the illusion. Most of our people are not here. They are protected. We rarely let visitors inside the camp, but today is a special day.
What makes it special?
You are here. The betrothed is here.
The betrothed? Who's the betrothed?
The betrothed to our chief. Sent from the gods to lead our people into the next.
Maybe I know the betrothed by a different name. What is the betrothed's other name?
You know, he bears the symbol of the Cheshire. He is of us. He is half man and half animal.
Oh, okay. So the betrothed is supposed to get married.
Marry Tigris and lead our people.
Oh, this is like a thing that was written like long ago or something?
Yes.
Got it. Does the betrothed know about this?
I assume so. Why else would you be here?
Oh. Well, I guess I should go get the betrothed, huh?
Oh my God, you have no idea, do you?
No.
Oh, this could end poorly. What is your name?
My name is Zoe.
Zoe.
Yes.
I think I will go with you. This could go poorly.
You have no idea.
And Scar will like hold your hand as long as you let
Sure.
And sort of you join you back towards this main building area. As you guys head back towards the main building area, Gray's pacing, and it's an odd sensation because he's pacing in your mind, the little wolf that shares your headspace. He's sort of like bouncing back and forth and sort of scratching at the walls a little bit. He's like, hey, so I have not been completely 100 totally for you know, on the I'm not allowed back here. So, but hey, we all make mistakes, right? We all go through a rebellious teen phase.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because we remember we drinking and stuff like that. That's why we get around.
Sometimes we get rowdy. Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes we get rowdy, and so you may not want to go dropping my name in a situation.
Okay, I appreciate that you told me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. More.
Yep.
Had you said that when the cat jumped on the cart?
Yep. You know what? That's on me. That's on me, and I'm gonna own it, and I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it to the bank, and I'm gonna put it in the bank.
Now I can't.
I know.
This is me not being able to take it back.
Hey, but you and me, ride or die, right?
Well, yeah, but we're in a new place where there's a lot of people like me.
Oh, hey, if it makes you feel better, I'm smelling it on them. They don't like you before they knew it was me.
Well, obviously I haven't showered quite in a while either, and you don't smell that fantastic flower fresh yourself.
Hey.
But we smell better than cats.
You smell better than cats.
I'm done.
Okay.
What?
She will lead you into an area. As she does, there is a large throne that's there. A large man, one of the largest that you've ever seen in your life, is sitting on this throne. And when I say large, I mean tall and broad. Broad-shouldered, broad-chested. He's got sort of like a golden sort of fur that's surrounding his whole body. His arms are thick and heavy and corded with muscle, and he sort of surveys you with the same sort of feline eyes that the woman is who greeted you. And she will lead you all into this space, and you see beings and humanoids of different sort of animal persuasion who are gathered in this small space, and she will walk forward and she will say,
It is time. Cheshire has sent my beloved to me.
Your beloved.
Yes. And she will kneel down at the ground and sort of like keep holding your hand and kneel down at the ground.
I'm going to pull her back up and say, Cheshire did not send us.
You are not from Cheshire?
I asked Cheshire to grant us entry.
The hat will begin to glow, and you will hear the words, "Oh, great and beloved people of China, it is me, your God, Cheshire. I am here to pave the way, to open the gates, to smooth things over for this, my heroes."
So rather hat do that.
Nope.
You're getting married.
I am not getting married.
Oh, wedding! Oh, we have so much to do!
The-
Oh, if Bob was here, he would love to plan this.
Bob sort of comes from behind. I'm here.
Too late.
The chief will sort of stand up, and you will hear the creaking of the wood as he sort of gets up out of this sort of throne, and he says, "Friends, it is a time for celebration. There is a great feast to be had. Our prince has presented himself in the most unlikely of places. Let us feast. You are all our guests."
So we're in a main area now, right?
Yeah, as he says, "You are all our guests." You and Scar sort of make your way to the area, and Scar will look at you and say, "Oh shit."
Okay, then I'll wait for right now because Scar's awfully close.
He can let you can break away from him.
Yeah,
He's
no,
not
because
holding
I really want to find this amulet, but I don't want to be super obvious about casting locate object because now I've seen it, like because I saw a whole 3-dimensional
Yes.
version of this thing,
Yes,
and it'll tell me if it's within 1,000 feet of me.
you will hear it. Yes. So I would. You can cast that right now if you would like.
I'm gonna wait, but
Okay.
I'm holding my action until there's a really good opportunity
Sure.
to do this and look around.
The special effects clothing, is it like,
Yeah.
then I want to transform it to being a little bit more hairy, a little bit more animalistic as far as like the look of it.
Okay.
So it's like from wearing the clothes, like having like the fur starting to come out, from.
Yeah, some of the people
itself.
notice, and there's a little sort of as they look over, but then they sort of turn back, and he says, "Good, prepare meals." And there's a bustling about as the people start sort of making their way out of this space, and he goes, "What do they call you?"
Mandrake? Madigan?
Tigress. Mandrake Madigan. Your betrothed. And she will bow and sort of stand up and go over to where you are and sniff and sort of stand there.
I want to congratulate you for getting there. So I'm going to walk up to Mandrake.
Yep.
And I'm just going to spit on his neck. I'm like, you need to rub this crap off your neck and not smell like me. Or I wolf it all. Just start rubbing his neck and just getting like...
I am fairly certain it doesn't matter what I smell like at this point.
To a feline, you have wolf's piss on you.
I'm just going to point at my feline eyes.
You have wolf piss on you.
I have some perfume if needed. You're not very good at being quiet.
Would you like accommodations?
Please.
He will clap his hands, and two of the guards or a soldier walk forward and take you outside to where the huts were, and go over towards one of the huts. As you go over to one of the huts, he will go over to where a bed cloth is laid inside the hut, and he will pull the cloth back, leading to a set of stairs. And the guards will gesture.
Is anything creepy about the fact that they're leading us down to Staircase.
Does anyone go?
I'm in.
Day, you are the first one to see the complete underground city of Dine, which is built in an intricate cave system beneath Wonder. As you go underneath, the simple land and small group of people, you had no idea it is a sprawling cityscape. You are almost assaulted with noise as you see hot springs that these people have used as a way to maintain warmth and a system. And there is a group of adventurers that seem to be training off in an area. They all sort of look over at you, and there's the sound of music and the smell of food cooking, and there is a group about you. It is a city that is unbelievable in scope and scale.
Go on.
Are we sure he doesn't want to get married here? I mean, look at this place. We have free reign. I hope.
Give me a history check.
17.
Your royalty stuff kicks in, and everybody else is kind of in shock about all this, but your alarm bells start going off. Underhill, the Red Keep, they have no idea that anything of this power, of this scale, exists. This would be like hiding a metropolitan city underground. And if anybody found out about this, like a force, like an army, like a resource, like that was hiding in plain sight, it would be frickin' bad.
Great.
Your face. That kid. Would you be hiding like your expression on that?
I think Nyx would just be kind of shocked that something like this has been able to hide so long.
For so long.
It's more that.
See, this is an emotion other than anger, confusion. This, my dear. That's a great one. What is happening here? This that you got going on.
See.
No, I see it.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
But apparently, you view this differently than I do. So I would like to know your opinions.
It's huge.
Okay, then we view this the same.
Fantastic.
So Mandrake is going to. Is Scar still there? Scar, is he still there? Because he was there with us all. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really know who he is. Or
Okay.
Who
Well,
you watched him come in. There's a
The
right
chief.
now. There is the chief of the group is not there. He
Okay.
stayed up top. The two guards sort of escorted you to that area. The only one is Tigress, who still has a hold of your hand. But there are random people that are sort of walking by and sort of nodding at you and sort of looking about at you.
Okay. I'm going to turn to Tigress, I guess, and is there a place where I might go and rest? It has been a very long journey.
Yes, I bring you.
A place where I could go with my friends. We need to discuss the journey.
Yes, I bring you. I stay with you. I protect you.
We don't need your protection, but thank you. I have Cheshire.
I have Cheshire.
Right. You see, in my customs, the night before.
My customs.
Oh no.
So you chose the gilded cage, dear.
Zoe,
Yes.
might you help me?
Oh, this is all very overwhelming for him. He has so many things he's feeling, and I think he just needs to be alone for a little while.
Words I never thought I would say. Zoe, make a persuasion check.
Oh yeah, I've got a +0 to that. 17.
She goes.
On the day.
Thank you, girl to girl.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is very much. Take time. and she will stand up on her tippy toes and give you a nuzzle where she sort of takes the sides of her face and sort of like marks like your neck and each side of your neck, and doesn't really kiss you but just sort of rubs her face against it and sort of nods to you and looks over at you and says, "If you touch him, I chop off your head, drink your blood."
And choke.
Play nice now.
And choke?
And she will walk away.
I'm just gonna run over and just jump on that. Like, you're getting married, you're getting married.
I can see you're not thrilled.
Are we alone? We're in this room alone. Mandrake's going to take a minute, check the entire room for any kind of listening device, anything. Yeah?
Yeah. How are you? How are you? What
I'm going to look for anything mechanical.
Okay. Yeah. Give me an investigation check.
And I will roll my eyes and cast detect magic.
You are in a very nice sort of marble room. There is a small pool of water, which seems to be like a part of this room. That's a little bit of steam is coming out of like the water itself.
25.
You look around the room. You don't see any sort of mechanical devices. In fact, you don't see any mechanical stuff, other than rudimentary sort of things out in this city at all.
And I take it back before you say anything. I cannot cast detect magic a second time. I
You
forgot it's
cannot.
purple.
It's just
So yeah, but I didn't want you to say anything magical.
Thank you.
So
You don't see anything. You're sort of scoping out the room, and a short old man will sort of come to the door, and he will sort of peek it aside and look in the room. Who?
Hi.
I'm here for you?
For me?
For Nancy?
Alright. Do you care to elaborate there?
No.
Well then, I don't care to go. So, we seem to be at an impasse.
All right. He will reach behind him and take out a package and place it down on the ground. And as he places the package on the ground, he will nod to you and reach into his back pocket and pull out some flies and sort of lay them down in front of Charlotte and bow to Charlotte and walk out of the space.
Well, I'm gonna go open the package.
So, Gray's not allowed to be here.
Are you saying that to him?
Yeah.
No. I was just strongly discouraged.
And what exactly did you do
I
towards such discouragement?
I didn't want to be here. I mean, this place is great. I mean, it's great. It's great. There was so much I wanted to see. There was so much I wanted to do, and they kind of don't want you to leave because everybody that leaves has a chance of kind of spilling the beans about this place, and so it's kind of strongly discouraged.
So do they take you as a threat?
Threat is a strong word. The colossal threat is probably a better description.
Now, was that you personally, or because you were leaving?
No, it's me personally.
Great. There's more to this.
No, man, come on, fuck. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? I'm not normal.
Then we'll present. You can present yourself.
Okay, here's the deal. I didn't want to be normal.
Fair. And no, who wants to be normal anyway? But you're the president.
Everybody.
He
He will. In your mind, he will reach over, grab your collar, and you guys watch as Gren takes his own collar and shoves himself towards the front door. And he's like, "Look out at that city. Do you know what that is? That is wife and kids and job and wake up every morning under the same nothing sky and be happy about it. And
God.
I didn't want that.
You want adventure. You could have just said that. I am not one for family ties and binds and all that. That's why I left.
That's why we get along.
Well then, at least if we presented ourselves, at least we can say that we were in the midst of something larger.
Sure. Why don't you try explaining that? Why don't you try going up to the chief of the town and saying, "Hey, boss man, you understand, right? I just didn't want to be here. You know, your way of life. I just didn't want any of it. You tell him, because I tried explaining that to him, and it didn't work. I was locked up in a cage like a dog and fed scraps.
So you want me to explain pack?
I was being sarcastic, homie. Like, what do you want? No, it's not going to work out for
To
you.
felines.
Do we see him like?
You see him just talking in a corner to himself. It's something he does occasionally.
Dear,
Excuse me. Yes.
oftentimes you go through these spurts of talking to yourself, and we usually are able to ignore them, I think, given your history. But this one's worrisome. So can we, is it possible to maybe hear what the other side of this conversation sounds like?
Gray's been here before. And he left. Apparently that's a no-no.
Okay, cool. Gray, hello. Yes, hi. Can I speak to you as well?
Well, he's here.
Tell her I can hear her.
Oh, so you can hear, okay,
No,
perfect.
he-
You can hear,
Of course, he's. I can
and
hear
you can hear
him.
them,
Of course.
and he can respond.
Well, if you say something, then he can tell me that.
So what you're saying is, as I asked before, I can speak with Gray.
Of course, same
Perfect.
chance.
Gray dear, can you please assist him just a little bit better, because I feel like we're getting off track here, and we're just trying to figure out exactly where to go from here. Maybe not cause a marriage. Is that a thing we can do?
Cause a marriage.
Okay. You want to not cause a marriage?
Clearly, Mandrake is not into it.
No shit.
Yeah,
That's not who she was supposed to marry.
that's not who she was supposed to marry.
You don't have to whisper, pal. Like, they're all in this. We're in a room together.
That's not who him.
Well, don't yell it so that everybody can hear you.
You were not meant to marry this woman.
Hold
That's
on.
who you like.
And Mandrake's going to immediately, like, just into the air, you know,
Wait.
you son of an alley cat piece of shit.
Great, let's say that back
Now,
here in the middle
just
of
to
this
clarify.
place.
This one's name is Gray. We've never really outright said this, so.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Greg's the
Right.
best.
You guys are having this conversation. You open up the box. Inside the box is a red ledger with a Nazis symbol on the front of it.
Alright, so I'm just gonna start. As they're all distracted, I'm just gonna start flipping through it.
There is one page in gold script. There are 5 names written on that page.
The names I already have.
Nope.
Okay. Okay.
The first 4 you do not recognize.
Okay. They are.
I will send you the list of those 4 names
Okay.
that you don't recognize. The last one is not written in the same script as the other 4. The last one seems to be written in a red ink that seems to be dripping down the page. And it says Red Jack.
Great.
Do you do anything with the page?
I feel like super moment. I'm gonna step outside.
Okay. The man is still standing there.
Who exactly sent this?
Nelson. For you. To use.
To send you with anything else?
No? It's for you.
Okay. I'm gonna use the mantle and see if I can turn in Red Jack.
As you place your hand on the pages of the book, the 5 essences are granted to you. 5 more names to add to your mantle, one of which was a bargain that was made in order to get a pact with a particular creature, with a particular wolven creature. And you see this pact being made, and what was made in exchange was the simple asking of a name. And as you stand outside, you take on the visage of the Red Jack himself, and you feel a slight essence of who he is, of what he is, and more importantly than that, you know where he is.
I'm going to turn back into Edwin, open the door, and just.
Cool.
Well, that was a whole lot of nothing.
You can thank the chat who wanted to do something nice for you and send you a little something.
Thanks, guys.
Miss Audie.
Miss Audie, thank you.
Couldn't send me like a way out of marriage to someone I've never met.
We're working on
Like to
that.
help
Okay?
him and him.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
because you're having so much fun. We want to see the fun continue.
I'm gonna switch out bottles if that's cool.
Pass that over. It's a stag night. We're ready.
There's a, this conversation is sort of happening off in the corner.
Okay, so I have addressed Cheshire. I assume there's no response.
I did it. You're welcome. You were like, pave the way, open the gates wide, and I delivered. Oh boy, did I deliver. You say, Cheshire, I need this, and what do I say? And I open the way. You're welcome. You don't even need to say it. You're welcome.
I'm not thanking you.
I'm sorry, why? I gave you what you want.
I asked for a way into the town, not to be betrothed.
And you did not specify I don't want to be betrothed. You asked for them to greet you with open arms and what better way? Go into the village.
You see, this is what's wrong with our relationship,
Get
Trisha.
married. Go into the village. These people are like your friends now.
I suppose.
One might call them family.
I hate you so much. I'm gonna just can I close the connection? Do I have that ability?
You want to slam the door.
You did.
I don't anymore. I can't close the connection.
The hat is on and it's not.
Okay.
I can be quiet. Would that help? I'm just gonna hum.
You see, Trisha, this is what's wrong with this relationship. There's always baggage. Things never work out as we plan. As I plan.
And therein lies the lesson from Mandrake Magic.
Fine. Is there a way out of this? Yes. Is it something I'm going to like?
No.
I'm gonna just turn around to everybody in the room and, if I go through with it, we have a way to possibly have the power to defeat the Red Queen in Red Jack.
Tell him not to go through with it.
Maybe you should reconsider.
What happened to Pretty Boy? No, not this guy. Pretty Boy.
Lost his hat.
No, dummy, the guy that she was supposed to marry.
Oh.
Why is she betrothed to him? What happened to her other one?
It didn't quite.
Share?
What happened to the other guy that she was supposed to marry?
What other guy?
The pretty one.
I don't know who you're talking about. I need more.
The other pretty one.
Does he have a name?
Does he have a name?
I don't know.
What does he look like?
He was, I don't know, he was real pretty. He had brown hair. It doesn't do it for me, but he was real strong, and he was always hanging out with the chief. It was like an arranged thing. They were made for each other.
Yes.
It's not the old you, is it? The old
Fine. No.
No, that'd be a wolf. These are cats.
As this sort of commotion is happening, Tigress will appear back at the door to the building and say, "Do you have time?"
For you, he's got all the time in the world, dear.
And she will nod, and She will look at you.
I didn't touch him.
I'm.
I don't walk over.
I know who you are.
And who am I?
You are Greg.
And you're Tigers.
And you hear Greg going shit. All right. You talk to Greg.
We converse from time to time, sure, but
You will not say this to anyone. You spoke to me. And for my husband's behalf, I not say this to anyone. Yes?
all right, go ahead.
From here on in, you are silent. You not speak, dog.
Yes.
This is how you maintain. This is how you keep secret. You shush.
You wish me.
You shush. Can you do this?
I'll just nod.
She will reach behind her and pull out a long box. You are now bodyguard for the throne while he is here. If he survives, you keep weapon.
I'll just grab the box and I'll start to open it.
Okay. Before you is a long sword. It is a steel sort of handle. It's odd because the sort of guard on it is a ground wood, which you imagine can't be very strong, but still looks very strong. The material of the sword is a black color. You don't.
Like the blade?
The blade is a black color, and you're not sure what it is. She says, "Spend time with sword."
I'll just whisper to Gray, well, because we share a link, so I guess I'll whisper, what do you know about this?
The pointy end goes into the other man.
You're brilliant. And I'll just smile and nod.
I actually know about this sword.
Okay. Continue. I'm listening.
This is the sword of Audrina. It's a family sword, but something happened to the family, and it's supposed to go to the hero of the court.
Alright. Is there anything else about it?
You gotta spend time with it.
Alright.
This thing was kept under lock and key for a long time. If she's given it to you, it means she really wants to keep him alive.
Then I'll just, more receivingly, just think.
That's all I know about it. Yeah, you feel a slight tingle in your hand, and the more you spend time with the sword of Audrina, the more you're gonna learn about it.
Then I'm just gonna just keep my hand on it. If it's giving me a presence of the sorts, I'm just gonna keep my hand on it. And
Sure.
just-
What size do you want it to be? What size do you want the sword to be as you grab it and put it at your side?
Like broadsword, short sword,
Okay.
something like that.
What size do you want the sword to be?
You have to choose.
She said. I'll take a.
For now, I will say every morning when you wake up, you decide what size you want this sword to be.
If I'm gonna be for protecting people, it's gonna be a broadsword.
All right. For right now, that's the size. We'll talk more about the qualities of that sword later, as you spend time with it. She will look over at you as you start to say something. Are you trying to get Chloe's attention?
Chloe, we're good to walk around the city, yes?
You want the guide?
No, just stroll.
You will not be safe.
I'm
Take guide.
usually not safe.
Take guide.
I would prefer not to.
Change south.
Alright. And I'll use alter self to make myself into a tabaxi.
Okay. Rest of you want the guide?
I was just gonna go with her.
She is fine. Hairy. Furry. Like us.
Oh.
She'll use her brooch and disguise self as a little short tabaxi calico looking.
You are pretty.
The gorgeous as well, dear.
I know.
I'm glad you do.
I've got them. I should be fine.
Tigress, may we talk?
Yes. And she will usher you all out the room.
Actually, I was thinking,
As she ushers you all out the room, she gets obnoxiously close to you.
great.
She's like, "You wish to talk? Or you wish to talk?
What is your favorite spot in the city?
Wherever you are."
Where is your favorite spot if I wasn't here?
Possibly the springs.
Let us go to the springs then.
As she heads out to the main area, she says, "We are going to the springs," and people just go and move over to the side. And she walks and she says, "People here very polite."
I see that.
She spends some time walking with you. She has her hand out and sort of walks with you, and she sort of looks around the area. Occasionally, animals will get a little close, or some of the people there, some of the wear-touched, and she will look over at them and sort of puff rather large, and they will sort of move off to the side. Yes. As you make your way over to the hot springs area, it has been completely vacated. As word has spread, and she leads you over to the water to sit on sort of a flat stone that's not quite touching the water.
Okay.
What is your worry?
This can't be what you want.
What do you mean?
You just met me.
I know you.
You don't know me.
I know you. You are Mandrake Madigan.
And what do you know of Mandrake Madigan?
You smell of sad.
I smell of... what?
Sad.
Sad.
Of longing. I long too. Sometimes two sad find each other. Same color.
Everyone has sadness.
Not like you and me.
And why are you sad?
I am missing part of me. Like you are missing part of you.
And what part are you missing?
The love of my life.
And what happened to him?
He was taken
Taken by who?
by the Jabberwock.
The Jabberwock.
The Jabberwock is alive.
It is.
This is why we are here.
Why we are here?
To protect the world.
Your people protect the world from the Jabberwock?
It started with a few of us that stood at the entrance to the cave. And more people joined as civilization pushed outward. And we started setting up towns and places until we forgot why the original people were here. Until there was an attack. And our bravest warriors entered the cave to stop what was there. And they did not return.
And he was one of them.
He was the best one of them.
Then you don't know that he's dead.
What are you missing?
A lot. A home?
You have that now. I can give you that.
A home is more than you can give.
I could try.
You could. And I could try to give you him.
Give me a persuasion check here.
Oh, it landed on a corner. Sorry. Damn it. We're gonna go off to the side there, and that did not go well.
Okay.
That is a 7.
He cannot be brought back. You are not strong enough to face the Jabberwock.
Maybe not alone. But I'm not alone.
is right. We will face the Jabberwock.
Or you stay here, you run the kingdom, and my friends and I face the Jabberwock.
You are very pretty, but very stupid. I will go with you. We leave at nightfall. And do not worry. We will send the dog ahead of us to fall through any traps.
I can find my own traps.
I know you can. Maybe this is why we find each other. People with same sadness find each other.
This isn't what you want.
Want.
When you lay your head at night, that feeling that pulls at the back of you, that's want.
No. The feeling that pull at your heart is need. And that will always be stronger than want. You guys spend some time walking around the city. There's a little bit of time spent looking at some of the different shops and areas. It's intense. It's like almost like the better parts of the mouth as like, but a little bit more friendly. You don't see anybody pay for anything. It's the first sort of major thing that you see. People just walk up to a stall that has food and the food is handed to them. It's almost like being back in your village, Bowie, of like, you need this, you can have it. Or you need this, like, I will give this for you. There's no exchange of money.
Is Zoe walking around with them too? I mean, if she knew they were walking around, she'd want to go with them.
Kind of invited her to just walk around, just the two of us. Everyone kind of latched on.
Everyone latched on to sort of go around the
I was
area.
trying to stick with her.
Because that spell I've been holding, I'm not necessarily going after it. I just want to know if it's there.
Sure.
And I would certainly share that with Nyx, that's what I'm looking for.
While we do that, are you looking around for someone? Who are you looking for?
Just pretty much anybody. Just the first person that I can.
Yeah, you know what? You see a guy that's sort of like following around with you guys. Like, you don't know why, he just sort of is interested in the group and things of that sort. And he's got these he's got sort of avian features and sort of looking around at all of you and just sort of like follows close behind. Big round face. But sort of follows along and just sort of like occasionally will walk and then occasionally will get really excited as you guys get ahead and like hop forward.
Are you following us for a reason?
We're very different.
That's true. You're not exactly the same as we are either.
No.
So you're just deciding to follow us because we're different.
Yes.
That makes all the sense in the world. Do you mind showing us around a little bit?
No.
I'm sorry.
What do you wish to see?
First, can I have your name?
Yes.
And your name is?
Moon.
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 We can call you Moon.
You can have it.
I appreciate that.
And I hear this.
Yeah.
Sure. Great.
You can add Moon to your list. Moon is very excited and spends the day sort of showing you around to various locales. If you now have somebody that is sort of following you around and is very excited to be a part of the group. The tour is abruptly cut short as trumpet calls sort of echo out from the area, and a shout is heard as the same chief from before amplifies his voice and says, "There is a great feast to be had for all our new friends. And such, we will celebrate the way that we always do, by honoring the gods above with food, with drink, and with battle. Choose your champion, heroes.
Champion.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed yourselves and you have typed in the word path. The path that led Day to death, the path that led them to where they are now, the path that is leading Gray to redemption with his people. There is lots of different paths, the path to matrimony. So hopefully you type that word in. We are going to do the drawing right now for the winner of the new Goliath dice set, and that winner is...
Vanquish!
Congratulations! You have won the dice. I will send those personally to you along with some other goodies because I know you and I love how much you've been interacting on the World of Warcraft streams and all the other streams that we've been doing. So thank you all so much. Be sure to click that little heart up in the corner or give us a subscribe if you're feeling magnanimous. We love you guys. We will see you next Tuesday for an episode I'm calling Beware the Jabberwock. As we go into and explore the very first dungeon I've ever created from start to finish. I'm very excited about it. So tune in for that. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. As always, Indigo Connect. But I have one more question before we go. Do you wonder? We'll see you soon. Bye, guys.